Alright, welcome back to my zombie survival first person shooter that I'm working on. I actually don't remember where I left off on the last video, so I'm gonna just go through everything that I think I didn't talk about. So I'm sure we talked about the wave-based system last time. That works pretty well. It increments up and down. We got the UI. I'm sure we talked about that. Should we talk about the health system, the health bar, the movement controls? I've added more movement controls. Well, no, I haven't. I've added shooting controls, though, which we'll talk about. And then I don't know if we went over the interaction controls and all that, so that's where I'm going to start today. So you see this E up here? I have a nice little interface that allows me to interact with things in the world. So what the heck is going on here? Why is it doing this? Wait a minute. It's because of the mouse controls and the keyboard and the controller controls. It messes it up sometimes. Just gotta fix that. Probably do an input. Probably add something in there, a control. But back to what I was talking about. So I feel like I'm way lower to the ground, but that's because I lowered the player. It's because I lowered the player. He was floating in the air earlier. Okay. So obviously we can't walk through these walls, but if we get close, you see we get the pop up open door. Open door. So if we have our interacting button, E for keyboard, and we have Y and X or button north, as Unity like to call it. Press button north. The door's open. The door open. Now we can walk through. We're getting a no. Why the fuck? There we go. So I should move this into the ground a little bit so we can just step over this and we don't have this problem. This is my first time actually, well, because I was floating before, I actually just put him on the ground. So we have a no reference exception, but that's for something different. We also have this door here, which is the same thing. So all of these doors can easily be, any door I put in the world can easily, all I have to do is put the door interact script on it, and I can easily interact with it. This right here is like a static weaponsmith that I have that I will use to upgrade my weapons. So if I interact with that, you get a little pop-up. So it costs money to interact with to upgrade your weapon, but I don't think I added a money value to that yet. So we can interact. You see it went up to uncommon, then it went to rare. You see in the inspector. I guess you can't see it in the inspector. For sure, I'll pull it up. So you see, it went to uncommon, then it went to rare. All right, if we go back to the game scene, we click it again, go to legendary, see how the color changed, and then lastly, it went to mythic. So let's start this close to scene now. Let's start the scene back up. I'm gonna show you what this actually does. On player, let's go down to the weapon holster. See, the weapon holster has 2 slots because in most shooting games you are allowed 2 weapons, right? So we're using scriptable objects for that. So right here we have our pistols, common, level 1. These are the names when we upgrade it, but that's when we upgrade the level, not the rarity. So you see how it has a 15 starting damage. The starting damage is 15. Go over here, we open the door. If we can get over this, I have to fix this. This is easy, just drop it into the ground a little bit. This is easy, just drop it into the ground, just the hair. So we can get over the lip. That should be enough. Just so we get over that lip. If you wonder why I have a blue carpet on the floor, we'll find out in a second. Okay, now we can just walk straight through. Okay, easy fix. Back to what I was saying. So we come over to the weaponsmith here, right? We talk to him. Let's go to the player. Let's go to the current active slots. It's the current weapon. So whenever I interact with the weaponsmith, it's going to use this. It's going to use this weapon, whatever's my current active one. So you see the damage is 15. If I raise the rarity, damage goes up to 18. If I raise the rarity again, 27, I do it again. 47, I do it again. 94, I do it one more time. No, it's already purple. I'm slow. 94. So we got the rarity up to the rarity up. It went to 94, and it costs money to do that. Let's look at the scripts for that. Gotta remember where it's at. Interaction system over here. Let's go into our weaponsmith interactable. Okay, so we was upgrading the weapon rarity, right? So you see, we just basically checking what the rarity is when we call this right here, upgrade weapon rarity. We just check whatever the weapon is, and then we just go up to the next one, and then we recalculate the math for how much the weapon's supposed to do, which we have down here, right? So then let's open up our weapon holster. That'll be in the shooting system. No? Weapon system, duh. Let's go to our weapon holster. Okay, we gotta open up. So, no. Weapon holster, right? Get damage. Get damage really is just a function at the very bottom here. All these right here all these do is return specific details about the weapon, right? So right here, return the rarity, return the level, return the capacity, and then return the damage. So, why am I calling get ammo capacity inside ammo capacity? That is insane. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? That is insane. What did I do here? Oh, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm returning. No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. What am I doing? Why am I doing that? Hold up. That's something we'll check for when we're not when we're not recording. So you see how we calculate the damage, right? Which that's supposed to do, and then you return it here. And then when we change the weapon to that, when we upgrade it, we change it to that. So this really should just return current active slot dot ammo. Why is that returning that? And then it does the same thing with the weapon level. Weapon level holds more weight than weapon rarity. A little bit more weight, but we do the same math. But we do the same logic, right? Check to see what the gun level is, and then if we have enough points. So this is what I didn't do. Yeah, I didn't add this part right here for the point manager. So that's why I made it just upgrade it here. I make sure I upgrade that. Make sure I add that in there. So we need to add the payment logic in there. But you see, we go into our point manager, which we will look at that right now too, because since everything works together. So point manager is real simple. So we get the starting money we start off with, which is 500, and then we set the cash to that much because 500 is just a baseline to start the game off with. You should be able to get out of the first room with just 500 if you chose to. So then we have our points UI, and these are named funny, and that's because I wrote this last night when I was really tired. So I was really just doing things. So points UI is our UI system to display the points. That's real simple. That's like super simple. See, it just basically takes the Text Mesh Pro that's at the very bottom corner right here. It just takes this number right here, and it turns it into a string and then displays it. That's literally all it does. Oh, wait a minute. Gotta save that so that'll stay there, and I gotta save that so that'll stay there too. Yeah, so that all that does is just return. So it's as simple as literally we get the point manager so we can get the points. We take the text and then we make it whatever. We make the UI match the number. That's as simple as that. Let's go back to our point manager. Anything else we missing? So we have logic to spend money and logic to get money. So like get money, right? We use that on our zombie handler. So when we kill them, it adds money to the wallet. I have a what's the name? I'm compiling. Okay, there we go. Enemies. So we have the zombie handler, right? And this right here. This right here. I worked on this a long time. This was difficult to do. Look. So we get references to the wave manager and the point manager, because we need the wave manager to increase the damage, and we need the point manager to gain points as we kill them. Then we use that health system that we created to create them a health system based on calculate health, right? So calculate health, all that does is it just starts them off with 35 initially, and then each round it'll be different because it takes in the current wave and the starting health and it multiplies it. So 35 times 35, 70, 105. I'm actually going to do something about this because I feel like the scaling on that might be a little crazy. The scaling on this might be a tad bit crazy because on round like 5 times 35 is like 165. That's no 5 times 35 is 175. So 175, and I mean if we look at the weapon holster, the starting pistol only does 15 damage. So. All right, now back into, so we talked about the point with that. Now back into the zombie handler. Let's see what else we got. So we talked about the calc. So this is, let's talk about how many points we get. This right here is a ridiculous syntax, but I did not know what else to put. So. Yeah, so. Int point multiplier is the wave manager .get current wave. So we just go into wave manager, return the wave, and then if the current wave equals 1, then points per kill equals 35, equals 150, as it should. This is defined up here as 150, right? I actually could just take this away and then just make it 150 right here. That compile? Yeah. And then elks. So then we do round to end point multiplier. So you get more points as the rounds go up. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this right here, but yeah, as the rounds go up, you get more points. So, and then we just return that. So we return that, and then when we kill the zombie, so we have a zombie death, and we have an event for that too. So whenever a zombie dies, so the reason we're using the events, right? We're actually going to refactor a lot of this to make a lot of this events. The goal is to never have to use update if I don't have to. Update just runs constantly, and when you run constantly, you're using a lot of memory. But if I have an event where it's only firing at specific times, then we're good to go. So we have this, I have this right here too, and I don't need it. But we're going to keep it because I may need it one day. Where was we at? Zombie death. So in zombie death, we go into the list. We'll talk about that in a second. But what we're going to do is we get points based on how much the zombie was worth, and then we destroy the zombie. Easy as that. And then simple damage system. Get the damage. Damage zombies based on how much ever the current weapon does, however much damage the current weapon is doing, and then we get the health using our health system. Then we debug it. Well, we don't need to debug it. And then we call zombie health change, which is literally just an empty function. There's nothing there. I literally do not need it. But I made for some reason, what happened was I made an event for it, and then I got distracted, I had to do something else. And then when I came back, I didn't know what I was doing, so I just kept going, and I never needed the event. So, whatever. And then if the health gets to more than 0, the health gets to less than 0, then we call zombie death, which calls that, and then blah, and then blah, 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 right? And then this is where this is the bread and butter right here. This is the zombie speed. So the zombies incrementally get faster. So you start off with, I could honestly probably change this to just a switch statement, to be honest. This is a really long if statement. I could just refactor to a switch statement, which I might do. Actually, I'm going to do it. I'm going to refactor this to a switch statement. Refactor that to a switch statement. But so the first 4 rounds, right? The zombie speed is 0.4. So I was testing it out, and when the zombies' speed are like 0.3 or 3.0, 2.5, they are really fast. They are like zoomy. So yeah, we make them get faster and faster over time. By round 25, they'll be like zooming at you. So 0.4, 0.8, 1.2, and then it goes up every 4 or 3 rounds. So it's like 3, then that was 4, and that was 3, that was 4. So every 3 to 4 rounds, it get incrementally faster. So that's that right there. We talked about the weapon holster. This took a decent amount of work, but this really the most work that this took was off the freaking gun scriptable object. Because I'm using scriptable objects to hold the data for each gun, which is going to make it easier to plug and play it into different, like, you know, if we do like a randomizer gun, or if we have like guns placed around the map that we can buy, you know, all I have to do is just load this scriptable object into that, and it'll instantiate with all of these values. So you have gun type, gun rarity, gun level. Then they have attributes, right? This is the headers for things, and then let's see what we got. So right here, this is us creating. This is how we are going to create a gun throughout the entire game. Whenever you create a gun, right? This is the function we're going to call. It gives you all the relevant data that weapon's going to need: the type, the rarity, the level, the name, the damage, the fire rate, magazine size, and then because they have upgraded names, it'll even give you upgraded names. But now that is if we decide to create a gun in script. If we create a gun through a scriptable object, then we won't need this. honestly. And I'll show you how it would look if we created a blank gun object. Then rarity multiplier. Right, this is for damage purposes. So when we set the rep and damage, we multiply the base damage by the rarity multiplier. For level 1, 2, and 3, they get really powerful, really fast. So, yeah. Then the ammo capacity, we just multiply these by 1, 2, 3 by level 1, 2, 3. Easy. Return the rarity, return the level, calculate the damage, get the ammo capacity. The main reason why we have this create gun script is so when the game first start off, I can create this starting pistol right here. That is the main reason why. So if we come back over here into Unity, come back over here into Unity, and if we look at the player, we look at the player's holster, right? The player has no weapons in his holster. None. But as soon as I start the game, he gets the starting pistol. So we're creating the starting pistol at runtime instead of having it already created when, like, prior. Alright, so this weapon holster. This was pretty fun to make, actually. Look, I gave him pretty cool names. Gum Pistol and Pistol Pete. And then like Guns Ablazing, and they got a switch on it. Like, I gave them pretty fun names because I gotta have fun when I'm doing this. All right, so we close all of these out. All right, what's next? So we have shooting mechanics. They're not fully. All right, let's turn the wave manager back on. Let's turn the wave manager back on. Let's turn the spawn manager back on. And let me show you how it works. So did I change it back to 1? Okay, so see they spawned in. Now they're running. That's because I did that, and then they're running too. They're only doing the run animation because let me change this back to how it was. I was just testing to make sure it was working, but I never actually went and changed it back. Let's go into the animator, and then from run, see I haven't set the 0.2, but it really should be like 1.2. 1.2? 1.2. See, they're walking. Now they can't attack me, and they're not even on the ground. But as you see, they're walking towards me. And 6 of them should have spawned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you see their health's going down as I hit. My hit my hit, it's not as, it doesn't work. I think it's the collider on the zombies. I think I need to make them a little bit bigger. Now when I kill that one, 12 should spawn. That don't look like 12. Let's look at so we go over to our wave manager. It'll show you however many it has. So it spawned 11. 11? 5.5 times 2 is 11. I mean, obviously I need to polish these controls. I'm working on it. So we have, these are just the basic zombies that we have. I kind of like these animations a little bit. These guys have to touch the ground though. I don't know why they don't touch the ground. Oh, I should just add gravity to them. Oh wait, it's a good opportunity to show the reloader. So you see how my magazine has 0, right? And I can't shoot, so I gotta reload. And now the cool thing of the way I set it up is like how most games set up reloading is. So the difference, this has a magazine of 30 and I have 28 in the magazine at the moment. So if I reload, I should only lose 2. Now the next round, the zombies should get a little faster. I don't know if it's noticeable or not, but they should be faster. But we now have 22 zombies spawning. So they spawn. You spawn more zombies based on. Now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to change the way that I'm gonna have to change how you get points, because I have a lot of points. Either I gotta change the way you get points, or I have to make things cost. I have to make things expensive. I think the latter is. I like the latter a little bit better, because I mean this round it's wave 5 and I have over 30,000 points. So I can't go through the door. Oh, and because of the path. Oh, and and I even did have nav mesh pathfinding, right? So if we go into the scene view, see, you have nav mesh pathfinding. Now when they get here, they don't do anything yet. They just kind of mob around me in a circle. They don't attack or nothing. But obviously, it's a work in progress. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go open this door up, right? And if you see, they should all follow me through the door. Eventually. Now if I'll do this right here. I gotta turn that off. See? They're all following me. Now another thing to show off is the spawns. So now as you see we got 2 spawn points, right? So that first room had 2 spawn points in it. Right? Now that we're out of that first room, if we kill all these zombies and end the wave, we add a spawn point. Now they can spawn right here. And we do a raycast off my location. And now as you see we have them spawn from 3 different locations. Now we're gonna expand it, right? So you have, instead of having just 2 in the first area, we can have more than 2. But this is by the way, this is a level 3 mythic weapon. So let's look at the damage that it has. Let's pause this real quick. Let's look at the damage that this weapon has. It's a level 3 mythic weapon. So the number's going to be a little bit, so 32,000. It's doing 32,000 damage. Now, granted, if we go look at the weapon holster script, right? It spawned with 50, and it spawned already at level 3 with 50, and it was rare. So it just went to level 4 and level 5, and it's at 32,000 damage. Oh wait, no, yeah, 32,000 damage. Kind of wild. 12. So that's that. We have some UI elements. Until I get into the Unity input system and change it to when I open up the UI, when I open those up to use the other system and all that, it's always going to be a little janky. But we're working on that. So one thing that I tried to do that I failed miserably at is I attempted to do like a headshot system. So if I shoot the zombie in the head, it would do more damage, but I couldn't make it work. I did 2 capsule colliders and all this. I put a capsule collider on it, another capsule collider on it, because when you shoot, the bullet is checking for this bullet target script. So I tried to do it a couple ways. I worked on it for a couple hours. I couldn't get it to work right. So I just said whatever. And If I make this 0-0, will this stop them from spawning in the air? They still spawn in the air. I need to give them gravity. They don't even have rigid bodies. Oh man, if I give them rigid bodies, it's gonna get real crazy. Also, let's check the spawn points. Are the spawn points on the ground? No, they're still floating in the air. Why are they floating in the air? I don't know. That's something I have to figure out. I like how it's spawn. I like how the enemies are spawning, right? Where all of them spawn at one time. But my problem is that I think the main problem is because this first room only has 2 spawn points. This first one, I think I'm gonna give it like 6. So when the game first start off, hopefully you'll get 1 per spawn area. Hopefully it works like that. We'll also move the spawn area outside of the room, so they'll basically walk into the spawn area. So I'll do make a wall, make it convex so the player can't walk out of it. Put something there to keep the player from being able to walk out of it, but then let the player jump into it or something like that. Did I have that up this whole time, bro? That's pretty much all that we have. So I mean, yeah, you seen the mistakes I made, and you seen the things that I gotta fix. So I mean, we're gonna fix them, and then we're gonna keep going. But I will say that in my test plan, there's I have a 6-phase test plan. I think it's 6 phases. Yeah, my 6-phase test plan. I've completed everything that was in 1. So now we're working through 2. And it's gonna be some hijinks. There's gonna be some stuff that we're not gonna be able to do, but I mean, it is what it is, So that was, eventually we'll have a completed game, but right now we're just working through it. And that is until next time.